Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's begin. We are CNM, cybersecurity engineers hired by Crypto Broker, a company specializing in cryptocurrencies. I am Kylie Torres, new to the tech industry, and looking forward to putting to use everything that I've learned here at CyberWarrior Academy. My bachelor's degree in government law and national security with a minor in philosophy will be a great contribution to my journey. I am looking forward to being an asset to any team that is willing to take a chance on me.
Thank you, everyone. My name is MacArthur. Um, with over a decade of dedicated experience in the healthcare sector, I bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the table. Currently employed with United Healthcare, a prominent leader in the industry. I have a degree in business administration, which provides me with the ability to succeed in the healthcare industry and tech field as well.
Crypto brokers' numbers have been booming, and as a result, we were asked to identify vulnerabilities within their system to ensure that all their customers' personal information and attributes remain safe and secure. As a result, our company enhanced cybersecurity for crypto broker by identifying and addressing potential vulnerabilities on their system. Our team identified a critical incident involving unauthorized root access, outdated servers, and an unsecured database. We utilized several tools to thoroughly assess the system's resilience, and we identified vulnerabilities along with recommended mitigation strategies. Specifically, we utilized the following tools to reveal potential threats with supported evidence: Nmap, Hydra, Burp Suite, and NICTO. Let's review them. Nmap Network Manager was utilized as a foundational tool for our penetration testing, providing valuable details into the system's architecture and potential sites of vulnerabilities. What is Nmap? Nmap is an open source tool for network exploration and security auditing. It can do anything from host discovery, which allows us to see live hosts on the network, to port scanning, giving us information regarding open ports, plus which kinds of services are running on those open ports. The video footage you are currently viewing presents root access by accessing the terminal and using the command sudo su for privileges, then proceeding with nmap-o for operating system detection. Please be advised, we did gain security clearance to access these privileges. All scans done throughout our investigation were legal and ethical. We were able to identify open ports to evaluate potential unauthorized access and conduct IP address scanning to map out the network. Open ports identified were the following: port 80 and port 22. We decided to do a further investigation of port 22 due to its crucial role as an SSH port, which allows secure remote access to the crypto broker system. After 48 hours of investigation, our analysis revealed unauthorized access to port 22, an unfortunate risk to the security of their system. Based on our findings with Nmap, we decided our next tool would be Hydra. Its ability to perform brute force attacks was essential to our end goal. Hydra is capable of parallel attacks too, which means it can attempt multiple login combinations. Overall, it is a great feature to discover weak and easily accessible passwords. In the screenshot, the -L option specifies the username to use, which in this case is root. The -P option specifies the path for the password file. The -T option specifies the number of threads to use, stated as 50, and the IP address is the target of the attack. Our attack was focused on gaining access to the root username and passwords. It was successful and resulted in unauthorized access of root credentials. Let's review our potential risks. Root access. The unauthorized possession of root credentials grants control over the system, creating a severe security risk. Data manipulation and unauthorized access. The outcome may lead to unauthorized data manipulation and unrestricted access to sensitive information. We'd like to emphasize how accomplished we feel to know that we were able to access the server. Although we are aware that it is a vulnerability for crypto broker, it is also a great achievement for us. For anyone that is not familiar with what root access entails, you can do anything. This was like an early Christmas gift for us. We had access to the system, logs, users, permissions, and databases. Therefore, if we could access this, a dedicated hacker could do so as well. Luckily, we caught this vulnerability early enough to notify the crypto brokers team and be able to assist in terminating such access to the server. Based on our findings with Nmap and Hydra, we notified crypto broker of immediate actions they should take to resolve these issues, including but not limited to root cause analysis for brute force attack by conducting a thorough analysis to understand the successful attack. Enhanced password policies may be done so by strengthening password policies, enforcing complexity requirements, and encouraging regular password updates. Multi-factor authentication, better known as MFA, is critical for accounts to add an extra layer of security. And lastly, continuous monitoring. By proactively enhancing real-time monitoring to promptly detect and respond to similar incidents. These are just a few suggestions to ensure crypto broker system is safe and secure. As stated earlier, our resources included Burp Suite and Nikto as well. Please welcome cybersecurity engineer Mr. Clark for further details on how we used said tools.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Tonight, I'm going to explain to you how we use Burp Suite and NICU to find more vulnerabilities when running scans on the crypto broker server. Burp Suite, a cybersecure tool that can be used for web application security testing. It is widely used by security professionals, penetration testers, and ethical hackers to identify and mitigate security vulnerabilities in web applications. We began our penetration testing by verifying that Crypto's worker server was running an older version of Apache. This outdated version required an immediate update to the latest version of Apache to patch known vulnerabilities. Next, we employed Burp Suite as a proxy to capture and inspect all traffic originating from the server. Our analysis confirmed that the traffic was unsecure as it used HTTP instead of HTTPS, highlighting a serious security issue. Further investigations involved an attempt at user registration and login using test credentials. Unfortunately, the login attempt failed with the message "No user found." The vulnerability analysis. The "No user found" message is a potential security concern as it could inadvertently reveal information about the application's backend or user authentication system, possible vulnerabilities and threats. Information disclosure, this message could lead to information disclosure potentially helping attackers identify valid accounts. Lack of user enumeration protection, the system may not have adequate measures to prevent user enumeration attacks, allowing hackers to determine valid usernames. The mitigation strategies. For information disclosure, we implement generic error messages like invalid credentials instead of specific ones. For user enumeration protection, we implement rate limited to CAPTCHA mechanisms to prevent attackers from easily enumerating valid usernames. Next, we use Nikto. Nikto is an open source web scanner tool used for performing comprehensive security scans of web servers and web applications. The key features of Nikto are web server scanning, web application scanning, cross-site scripting, and SQL injection detection, outdated software detection, directory and file enumeration, and multiple scanning profiles. For the NIC2 scan, we identify critical vulnerabilities. Web server vulnerability. This vulnerability allows an attacker to view all files in the directory by sending a GET request with more than 256 backlashes. Remote exploitation, a remote exploitation could lead to unauthorized directory access. Missing content type option header. Adding a NoSIF header is recommended to prevent MIME type sniffing, enhancing security. Lack of X-frame option header. This header is crucial for preventing clickjacking attacks, which can be embedded malicious sites in iframes. And a WebLogic vulnerability. This vulnerability may allow source code to director listing potential exposing sensitive information. Recommend updating this to more current version for WebLogic. The mitigation strategies. For the mitigation strategies and the recommendations, we recommend Abyss web server vulnerability, iPlanet web server vulnerability, Apache web server update, X-Frame option header implementations. For the mitigation of these threats, we recommend that an updated version for the web server to be updated so it can be properly configured for access control for the X-Frame option and the X content type options. We recommend adding an appropriate header to HTTP responses. And again, for the WebLogic, we also recommend to update that to a higher version so it can be configured properly for the correct directory listing. PH My Ahmed, the discovery. During the NICTU scan, we received a notification about an unsecured database listed on CryptoBroker's servicer. The discovery suggests the presence of MySQL database and its associated administration tool, PHP MyAdmin. The confirmation. We verified that PHP MyAdmin was indeed connected to a MySQL database. This is significant as it implies potential access to the company's database management systems. The credentials. We access directories within the server and web hosts using the default credentials. This finding is crucial as it may grant unauthorized access to sensitive data and configurations. The identifications. We identified different databases within MySQL. Crypto, which contains usernames, user transactions, various crypto wallet data, and login information. Information schema, which provides metadata and MySQL server information, and MySQL, which holds server security, privileges, and organizational data. Performance schema, which offers detailed service performance and resource utilization data. And systems, which simplifies gathering and interpreting performing data, aiding administrators and developers to optimize server performance. Each database serves a unique role in organizing and managing the data for different aspects of the server. The risks. Accessing these databases present risks such as data exposure, unauthorized modification, and security bypass. This could compromise the server security, integrity, and stability. Additionally, using default credentials indicate poor security practices, making the system vulnerable to exploitation. Mitigation strategies. To mitigate these risks, we recommend the following. Change default credentials, which replace default credentials with strong, unique ones. Restrict access, which we would recommend we implement access control and limits who can access sensitive data. Regular updates, keeping the software and systems updated. To secure patches and strong authentication, to enforce strong authentication mechanism to protect sensitive information. In conclusion, I'm now going to turn everything back over to my colleague. Please proceed with our closing out statements, Ms. Torres.
On behalf of Mr. Clark and I, thank you for your time and attention. We appreciate your valuable time spent with us today. Stay connected with us for future updates and collaborations. Here are references, and thank you.